Baka, trainer, Baka! I am the legendary Pokemon, the legendary bird Pokemon, Ho-Oh. Oh, but you, my trainer, do not have enough badges to take on this magnificent bodice of mine and these elegant feathers. Oh, I will be up there in Bell Tower waiting for you, challenging you, tempting you to come and find me, for I am the box art Pokemon of the Heart Gold expansion. Wah! Welcome back, boys and girls, to Makuta's Corner. Today, we're doing another crazy Pokemon review. Today, we got something extra special for you. Today, we're reviewing a Pokemon card from the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Series TCG expansion. Now, since we're going back so far, I need a little pick-me-up, a little refresher, if you would. I need a wave of nostalgia, so let me get into it. Oh, too much! That's the Bionicle. Whoa. I'll save you for later. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Reminds me of 2010. I remember the prime days. Now let's get into the cards themselves. Today we're reviewing Pokemon Ho-Oh Legend, featured in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Triumphant series expansion of the TCG card set. Now, let's get into it. Now, these cards are very unique and special from today's cards. Let me explain. Unlike, previous cards or unlike cards that are coming out now recently, these cards are split in between two cards. One legendary between two different cards. Now, I'm going to be honest, if you're asking me about the writing on the top half, don't worry about it. It's on the top loader. Me and the person who wrote it will have words later, and it will not be fun for them. Keep that in mind. But, side tangent off. Now, these cards are very special, as unlike the Clash of Legends that had come out, or that did come out afterwards, which prominently featured Darkrai and Cresselia, Palkia and Dialga, two polar opposites going against each other, separated between two different cards, like this card is. This only features one legendary on two different cards. Very interesting. And also, this kind of splitting art between two or multiple cards is a premonition of the future for the Pokemon Company, of which did have a return of this, let's say, art style, not art style, but splitting of cards. Recently, there was a Mewtwo card that was split into 4 separate cards and put into a pack of its own. Now, getting into the true nitty-gritty of the card, we can see that this card is indeed a holographic. It does reflect light very well. Unfortunately, at this time, they did not put ridges or any sort of texturing on the cards, so you're not going to sit there and you're going to feel the difference on it. So it does make it a little bit harder for you to find fakes, but it still is certainly easier to spot fakes within this lineup of cards. Now, going into a further review, the art on this card is very, very nice, very different. You can see on its magnificent bodice, it is very, let's say, flowy, as this is a fire type, of course. It is actually, I would say, channeling its sacred flame, and this art depicts it. As you can see, the flames are in a more liquidy, little bit more, I'm going to say, harsher style is used to depict a sort of, it's very, subjective to say, but fluffiness. Very fluffy looking Ho-Oh in this state, channeling its power, and it gives way to a much more harder art style, harsher art style that I do believe that serves, the depiction of this legendary and of Pokemon TCG as a whole very well. And it's, I'm going to say, more adult and aging audience. It does make for a very legendary, haha, I said the thing, depiction and very legendary card. Now, on to the more technical aspects of it. For the TCG Series expansion, this card, or these cards, legend cards, were not very popular. Of course, because the objective of the game is to knock out your opponent's Pokemon as fast as possible to take as many prize cards as you can to win the entire game. Now, finding 2 separate cards within a deck of 60 is very cumbersome for a TCG player to do. And you can only have only one complete set of these 2 cards in your deck at any given time. Therefore, it was very unpopular to use these or employ these in any deck. Doesn't mean that they weren't employed, it's just they usually lost at the time, let's be honest with you. And losing is not something that, I'm a stranger to. So, these cards were very popular as a TCG player aspect, but any TCG player can also tell you that they're a collector as well, which means that these cards were actually just more of showpieces for their binders, collections, of which people will go and look at your cards and be like, ooh, you got Ho-Oh Legend. Would you take $30 for it? Would you take 20? I'll give you half of a Lugia. That's more of along the aspects of lines it was for and it still is today. Now, as for the price of this card, it's getting a bit more interesting. Let's just say that for the least. Is that Ho-Oh and Lugia are 2 very popular legendary Pokemon. And because of their popularity and their prominence of the box art and within the games and the anime, of course, means their prices are going to go up or be higher than other Pokemon, than, let's say, a Gengar or a Mimikyu, or not a Pikachu, of course, absolutely not a Charizard, but a Butterfree, a Caterpie, or if, and any of those cards, or legends or holographics that would be made of those. So the prices on these are actually very high, and due to the split aspect of the cards, you're going to be paying double, actually, compared to a singular card of one of these. So if you're saying that the price of, let's say, of a top Ho-Oh half is $50, you're also going to be paying another $50 for the bottom half, because you can't just have 2 pieces of a puzzle. That came out wrong. You can't just have 1/2 of a puzzle. So, the prices on these are also recently going up as well, because the Pokemon Company has started introducing old legendaries into the new TCG sets, and therefore older cards like these, which are not in print anymore and are very, very beautiful cards with the different aspects of the harsher art style and the split nature, means that the prices on these are going up as well. Now, from what I saw, you're going to find some cards that are badly, badly damaged, going for even $20. That's ludicrous, yo. But if you're looking for a more mint condition like any collector is, you're going to be paying upwards of around $60, $70, $80. It's not unheard of to hear about 100. Now, don't make me get into Lugia Legend, because oh boy, has the fandom had their way with her. Oh boy. So, the prices on these cards are going up. If you can find one that is in a very good condition for around, let's say, $30, $40, you're going to be sitting pretty. And you're going to be doing pretty well in your collection by finding these. Now, that basically concludes today's review. If you have any other suggestions or comments, or just want to leave another hateful comment, it's absolutely fine with me. First Amendment, boys. This is Makuta. I'll see you later. Ha ha, yeah, I'll see you later.